Well, hello friends, welcome back to another Truth for Today. I'm Pastor Mike, coming to you from the Lighthouse Baptist Church here in Seagrove. We hope today's devotion finds you doing very well. We are taking our reading today from the book of Ephesians, chapter number 1, and I'll be reading verse number 6, but let me just kind of tell you what's going on in the first few verses. The Apostle Paul is addressing the church there at Corinth, the saints that are part of that church, and he's kind of giving pleasantries and what have you. But he makes a statement in verse number 6 that I really want to focus on today for our devotional time. He says this, "To the praise of the glory of His grace," talking about who they are in Christ, "wherein He hath made us," listen to this last phrase, "accepted in the Beloved." In other words, what Paul was talking about here is, if you read the 5 verses leading up to this verse, he's talking about how that God, through mercy and grace, has made you and I acceptable in or to the beloved. The beloved is another way of saying the family of God, those who are God's children. And I guess if I was going to title this particular devotion, it would probably be something along the lines of, it's a blessing to be a child of the King. Can I say this morning for you and I that you know, sometimes you go to church and you hear people stand up and testify and they talk about how hard it is to be a Christian and so forth and so on. I've never really had a lot of, I don't gravitate to that way of thinking. And here's why. The Bible teaches us in the book of Psalms that it's the way of the transgressors that's hard. Being a Christian, yeah, there's times whenever we have to face societal rejection, and we should. Jesus did. But in the same, it's not really that hard to be a Christian, in my opinion. Matter of fact, it's a blessing to be a Christian. Yeah, we face adversity, and if we're living the way we ought to, as Paul told Timothy, the godly will suffer persecution for doing so, but that's part of it. However, what overrides any negative thing that could be said about being a Christian is the fact that, man, I'm accepted in the beloved. I am part of the family of God. Because of what Christ did on the cross, I belong to this family, this group, mind you, that is pretty exclusive if you don't know the truth about it. It's not anything to be prideful about, but it is something that comes at a very high price. It cost Jesus His life. He was willing to pay that price because He loved sinners. Can I say today that if you are a born-again child of God, it ought to always humble us that God would love us and save us. But on the inside, it ought to really make you feel special. That you are, because of God's grace and mercy, you are part of something much bigger than yourself, the family of God. You are, as Paul said to the church at Ephesus, accepted. Watch what he said here now, accepted in the beloved. Congratulations. You're part of a family that's eternal. Take that thought today and ponder on it and let it make you and I thankful, number one. Let it cause praise to come out of our mouth, number 2. And number 3, let you and I remember that had somebody not shared the gospel with us, we'd have never got in that family. And let's take that message to those who need it the most. We hope today's devotional will encourage you, lift your spirits, and as always, may the Lord richly bless you today is our prayer.